We just heard in our ears, recordings in progress. And Nick, I don't know if we're going to have someone do our bumper music and all that kind of stuff, or if we're just going to put this out here. But we promised people on our various social groups that we would let them know kind of what was going on about Amazon over the weekend and what our plans are. And so usually we just do these kind of recordings and talks just for our Galaxy's Edge insiders. But this one we want to go out to everybody because we feel like it's very important and it affects the future of Galaxy's Edge. Full stop, full disclosure, we're not canceled. There's no big corporation, big unnamed corporation who is attempting to sue us or anything like that. As best we can tell, what happened was a automated error, and it was fixed relatively quickly. I think we went back up online sometime late Sunday night, early Sunday or early Monday morning. But it has us thinking about plans that we already had laid out in our end of year planning. And we're just going to accelerate those plans. So why don't we start, Nick, with explaining a little bit about what happened or what we think happened.
Hi, my name's Nick. I am an alcoholic. Oh, wrong movie.
Yeah,
wrong
meeting. That's the meeting after this one. That's our 3 o'clock.
The other meeting.
Yeah.
I think what we think happened. We both thought the same thing happened. We just thought maybe there were different sources of it happening, but I don't know. The longer I think about it, the more it seems a little odd and weird. And the main thing that seemed very strange is about 6:30 on Saturday night, you texted me a little bit later, and you're like, "Hey, all our books are down out of the store," and I was like, "Oh wow, that's weird." And that's kind of happened. I don't know that has happened to us before, but we've been taken out of Kindle Unlimited before and everything like that.
Yep.
I happen to know that there's a major cyber war going on between the Russia and Ukraine. I was like, okay, Saturday night, no one's in the Amazon offices. There's a hacker probably in there deleting titles.
Sure.
But then you got an email, and the email was a little scary that accompanied the deletion. The email was basically, you violated our TOS, which is, now that this is a family-friendly insider podcast, bullshit. Because if anyone ever wants to violate terms of service, it's me. Because I'm always thinking of like super harebrained ideas, and you're like, oh no, that's a great idea. It'll just get us completely banned from Amazon. I'm like, okay, well, we can't do that then. So Jason's very adherent to the terms of service because that's the terms of the deal. And we always want to have integrity in our business, as the insiders know, because we go to great lengths to make sure that the relationship is honorable. We do that in all our business relationships. And in even a lot of our contracts, we just try to have a handshake deal because we think that is the best way to proceed.
Mm-hmm.
But the email was basically, you have violated the terms of service. And when you got down to the last line, and I don't think the last line fully sunk into you, because I think you were stunned by the first few lines, but it hit me later. And I was like, well, this basically says that we're banned for life. We can never have another account. We can never upload anything ever again. We can't go make other account. Like it was kind of like a really, and it was done. The thing that pisses me off and irritates me is it was done in that social media. If you've ever had to deal with Twitter or Facebook and someone's hacked your account or something, like I can't make ads on Facebook because apparently I'm a Russian terrorist.
Yeah.
And you write in and you're like, hey, I haven't done these things. This is my credit card, blah, 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 and everything like that. And they're like, we have made our decision and you can never appeal it. Like you want to say, like, is your lawyer like a 15-year-old girl? Is there a way that you guys know how to write that without sounding like, the mean girl squad? And the answer is no, because these are all beta male choi boys. I don't even know what a choi boy is. Maybe that's the Korean version of soy boy. Sorry, Korea. But it's really unnerving to get that sort of passive aggressive, there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Okay, well, let's just put that in perspective. Jason and I pay all our bills, mortgages, put kids through college. Everything that we like, this coffee was bought with Galaxy's Edge money.
Right.
Like if the Galaxy's Edge money suddenly dries up by, I don't know, being banned for life, I'm gonna have, you're gonna freak out. Like, go into your job. Like, it's not even like, go into your job today and your boss says, hey, clean out your desk and here's your last paycheck. And by the way, you can never work anywhere ever again in this industry.
Right.
And you're like, but I left my old job in my industry because we had a contract where I gave you content and you gave me money,
Right.
and that seemed cool. And now you're telling me for no reason that you care to define, that's all over. Well, I guess I'll just go down to the bank and explain that when they want a mortgage payment.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And so that's where we kind of ended up. Now, thankfully, because we're a big account, we sell a lot of books. We have a dedicated KDP rep, which some other authors, which were taken down around the same time, don't have. And so we have some friends who are still struggling to get their account online. And, they're fighting the good fight. We're trying to help as we can through our rep. But,
So
they
now,
don't
like,
have the
let
reach.
me jump in real quick. There are still people that are down.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
Kevin's still down.
so I mean, and that's the hilarious thing, because we were advised by one of our consiglieres, um, hey, go on to Twitter and started a tweet storm,
Mm-hmm.
and get everybody to retext it, and lo and behold, that worked, thanks to
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
And it worked for another author, but you have to have the mass to be able to do that. You have to, you have to be bigger. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get service. So let me get this straight. The most powerful company in the world relies on a garbage social media platform to uh, handle their fix-it tickets.
I don't
Am
know
I
about
right
that.
about that? Like, you
I mean,
literally need Twitter to be brought to an attention, brought to have a problem on your website brought to your attention. That's stupid.
yeah, I mean, I guess all you can say is potentially, right? Like the people who apparently went after KDP, the authors who went after KDP and had a large enough readership to say, hey, what's going on,
Yeah.
seem to have gotten turned back on. Smaller authors who are stung by this. And maybe you should stop and explain what we think this is. Essentially, you got a message saying you have multiple accounts. We don't have multiple accounts. Galaxy's Edge LLC, which is the company Nick and I co-own, which does all the publishing, is Galaxy's Edge Press and is Wargate Books. It owns Galaxy's Edge LLC. It has one KDP account, and that's all it has. You're not allowed to have multiple accounts for one entity. Multiple accounts for one corporation, all sending money to the same bank account. That's against the terms of service. We hadn't done that. And we know we hadn't violated any content. We have a really sharp legal team, as you can imagine. We must have, given what Disney decided to name its theme park after we came out. So we know there's nothing outstanding in that regard as well. So we hear that, we're like, this is clearly wrong. What we think happened is they probably introduced some kind of a bot, because that's really all the rage with big tech, is to automate everything and remove any human oversight, with the belief that this will solve everything. And there's a truth to that as far as scale goes, but the downside is you end up making massive mistakes like this one. We got the email saying, hey, we did this in error. It was all in error. Our apologies. We're turning you back on. And then they kind of left the ominous, but just so you know, if you violate our terms and conditions, we can shut you down whenever we want to, right? And that's always how it is with a lot of these big tech companies, whether it's advertising on Facebook, working with Amazon. It's, we made a mistake, sorry. And if that was it, that would be great. But it's always sorry. But just so you know who wins in a fight, it's us, right? Like that's kind of that's the parting message.
It's always sorry, not sorry. And, don't get out of line because you probably deserve this. I've had that at every platform and everything like that, and we don't. And I think that hacked us off. And we even got another email today that was just a bullshit email when you pushed back on him, like, no, you explained to me what I did wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
And as I told you, like, after you read me that email, I'm like, that's like being in a passive aggressive relationship with a family member who folds their arms and says, something's wrong between us, but you figure it out. And until then, I'm going to freeze you out. And you're like, there wouldn't be a marriage that would survive that. So that kind of brought us to the conclusion. We always look at everything as like a gift from God, even the hard stuff or the obstacles or the discomfort, because that we know that something is being done in our life by God to move us to the next good place. And this is definitely coming. Some people have pointed out to me since, they're like, I wouldn't be so fast to run to, and including like a major tech person
Mhm.
who we know. I wouldn't be so fast to run to to excuse them of this behavior.
Sure.
Sometimes this is a prep for what's coming,
Right.
and it was
Yeah.
a beta test to see if they could do it.
Mhm.
And at other times, it's a chilling effect to let you know that it can be done, and you might want to consider Nick Cole not mouthing off on your other podcasts like you do, or Nick and Jason, you might not want to write such hate speech.
Yeah.
Like
We don't write hate
about
speech.
love
Just
of
officially,
the
we don't
military.
write hate speech.
Yeah, love of the military, and the positive roles of masculinity, all the hate speech and everything like that. You might not want to write that.
Yeah.
So it could have been a bot, could have been a hacker, could have been a chill, could have been a beta test. But at the end of the day, it's bad business practice, because the way that Jason and I think about it is, we make pizzas and you guys like pizzas. And we're in the pizza shop rolling dough, and you're right outside. All you got to do is walk in the door and get some pizza. Oh, Amazon is standing at the door between you and your pizza, which we have. And what they prove to us is that anytime they want, they can just close the door to the pizza stand, and you can't have pizza. And that's what we got all weekend. Oh, I was right
Mhm.
in the middle of Forgotten Ruin. Oh, I was right in the middle of GE. Oh, I was right in the middle of Savage Wars, and
Mhm.
then just to complete the trifecta. Oh, it was right in the middle of, Tyrus Rex.
Yep.
And all of those happened. And like, I can't find your books now.
Yep.
I don't know. I guess that person didn't read any books because they had reading time this weekend. And so they just went and just, played tiddlywinks or watched football, and they'll just wait till our titles have reappeared. No, they'll go into the store and find someone else's book.
Right.
And then they'll be hooked in a new 20 book series by Richard Fox or somebody like that. Great guy. But guess what? When they get to the end of the 20 books, maybe they'll remember that they got kicked out of our series.
Right.
So that's not good business practice for anybody. And you're a fool. And I think Jason and I looked at ourselves and we're like, we might be being foolish here, of having all our eggs in one basket and
Mhm.
allowing someone to close the door to our pizza stand anytime they want. We have to do a couple of things. One, we don't take shit, because that's one of our rules. So we're going to punch back, and Jason's going to talk to you about that.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that's to your benefit. And the second thing is, we're not going to have all our eggs in one basket. We're going to move to what we now call the concept of the third place, meaning you get books at the bookstore or library and you get books on Amazon. Well, would you consider allowing us to be the third place that you get books?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So when we talk about eggs in one basket, those of you who've been insiders or been with Galaxy's Edge for a long time know that before Legionnaire even hit the bookstore in 2017, people were reading that back in 2016, because we had started a subscription program, and that's what we called Galaxy's Edge Insiders. So those first insiders were getting chapters as they were written. They were getting completed books. There were so few of them that, like, we were buying them print copies and just mailing it and just losing money, because the point wasn't, we need to make money off of these guys. The point was, we want to build an audience. And so that's what was happening in those early days. Thanks to God, that's grown substantially. We have a lot of insiders, and they're the backbone of what we do. What we realized we need to do, though, is grow that basket, so to speak, grow the insider revenue, the insider subscriptions, to a point where we can not have to worry about being exclusive with Amazon. And the way Amazon works is they give you a couple of different things. They will give you a royalty percentage between 30 and 70% off the cover price for selling ebooks. And that's all fine and well. But a while ago, they introduced a program called Kindle Unlimited. And Kindle Unlimited is a $10 a month subscription service. And then you read the books through your Kindle Unlimited subscription. Authors get paid for that. We get paid fractions of cents per page read. So the more page reads you have, the more money you make. And Amazon has kind of adjusted this so that whereas when Nick first started writing, all his revenue on Amazon was coming from people actually buying books. Now people will see anywhere between 40 and as high as like 60% of their revenue coming just from Kindle Unlimited. For us, we get about 21% of our ebook revenue from subscribers. About the math probably isn't going to add up here. I think about 43% from Kindle Unlimited, and the rest comes from people who are buying Amazon ebooks. So for us to get out of Amazon's exclusive grip, because if you're in Kindle Unlimited, you can't sell those ebooks anywhere else. That's why, as insiders know, they get it early, they get a window, other people get a window to buy it independently without a subscription, but then it's gone. Like, you can't have it anymore because we can't sell it anymore unless it's on Amazon. So the way to get around that is going to be to grow either of those two things, either direct sales on Amazon or subscriptions and direct sales on our website, to a point where we can say, hey, we don't need Amazon exclusivity anymore. We're going to keep this for sale on our website. We're going to put this on other distributors' websites, Barnes and Noble, other competitors, and we're going to be able to walk away from Kindle Unlimited. Now, for those of you who have a Kindle Unlimited subscription because you're on a budget and you can't afford an insider subscription and a Kindle Unlimited subscription, when we say walk away, we mean it's not going to be forever in Kindle Unlimited like it has been to this point. We'll have it available when it first releases. It's 90-day periods. Depending on how well it does, we'll typically pull it out after 1 to 2 90-day periods, and then it's going to be wide from that point. So you'll still get your opportunity to make use of your subscription through Kindle Unlimited if that's how you consume. We totally get it. There's a reason why it works, right? Amazon was smart to do it. $10 a month for someone that reads 20, 30 books is a great deal. Our goal is to make a Galaxy's Edge Insider worth as much as Kindle Unlimited and more to fans of Galaxy's Edge, Forgotten Ruin, and these types of books. So what you're going to see from us now is an active effort, and maybe we should apologize in advance because we're not going to shut up about it, but an active effort to get people who are fans of Galaxy's Edge, readers of our stories, to shift from being a customer of Amazon and giving Amazon the money for our pizza to going and giving it straight to us, whether that's through insider subscriptions or whether that's from buying our ebooks and audiobooks directly from us. Right now, Forgotten Ruin fans can go on our website and buy the special limited edition, which is going to be different from the final edition of the audiobook for Lay the Hate, the next Forgotten Ruin book. Audible has to wait a while because there's some change orders in effect, but you can get it right there right now. And the reality is, we can charge the same price as you would pay for your Audible credit, but we keep almost 3 times the money because Audible's no longer there taking it. The same thing is true for ebooks and everything else. So we're actively seeking to divorce ourselves from that reliance on Amazon's Kindle Unlimited subscriptions by really focusing on our insiders and our customers who are willing to come to our pizza store and buy pizza directly from us. And we've been doing this for a long time. You can talk to the existing insiders. This isn't a new thing for us. They are reading Remains, the next Galaxy's Edge season 2 book right now. They get to read all kinds of books well in advance. They're reading Forget Nothing 2 right now. They're reading books that are out in audio but not sold on Amazon, like Banshee's Last Scream, the short story. They're getting all of that all the time in advance, plus a bunch of other books. But we want to
they get our other
more.
series, like your Kings League series.
They get Kings League, Strange Company.
Yeah, I mean, they everything that we're doing, even independently, everybody's getting. And this is how committed. We're not just sometimes when people go through these things, they're like, you need to come and do this and you need to support me and blah, blah, blah. We're not saying that.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is we're going to make this, you're going to think you're taking advantage of us by how much stuff we're about to give you for subscribing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly
you're going to feel guilty. That's how good this is going to be.
That's our goal. That's our goal. And I think that we've achieved that goal to an extent. Like there's times where if you're buying Galaxy's Edge books as they come out, for the retail price, you're paying more than what people with the insider subscription pay. But we want to take it a step further. And so we're going to do a couple of things starting this week. And the first thing we're going to do is we're producing a weekly serial. We've gotten so many emails and social media messages and letters saying, when are we going to get another Tyrus Rex story from the Contracts and Termination series? And our answer has been, maybe we can get to that next year. But the answer now is you're going to get it next week. And Nick, you can kind of tell them about that.
Yeah, next Monday starts Tyrus Rex Hard Target, and basically it is a huge bounty hunter epic of Tyrus Rex's journey into a criminal reach of the galaxy called the Edge Worlds, in pursuit of the legendary mob boss, Mr. Zorro. And it's going to go into Tyrus Rex's past. There's going to be a lot of crossovers with characters that you've met, but we're just going back to that sort of like bare knuckled, hard driven, full auto hand blaster cannon storytelling. And it's going to be serialized. It'll be dropping every Monday. We just got the cover art layout done today. It's pretty badass. It'll feel very retro to an extent. For those of you who have been with Galaxy's Edge from the beginning, I think that'll be pretty cool.
Mhm.
And we're going to get back to Balder and G232 and the Dubarian gunnery bot. And we've got some new fun characters coming along. Lyra, she was part of the original crew. And I think we're thinking you're going to do it. And that's part of like, this is now going to become a happening every week. It's not just like, hey, you're getting stuff from Galaxy's Edge, the books and everything like that. Like now your membership pays off in dividends every week as you get to be in on this story. Now, here's the deal. This story isn't going wide. This story isn't going on to Amazon until probably well after it's done or anything like that. And it, who knows? We may just keep it in-house or whatever, but
Yeah.
you have to be an insider to get this.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a pretty great adventure. And we're actually already developing other serials and things like that. We're just pretty excited about this new feature. Plus, we have all the Wargate books coming on, like Peter Nealon's Ice and Monsters, John Stock Spears' new series, which is basically Forgotten Ruins set on Mars
Mhm.
with special operators.
Warlord. Yeah.
We've got a really cool new series that we're partnering with a new writer about that we think that you are going to dig. And it'll just say like 2 words. It's got mercenaries and it's Atlantis, and you're going to dig it.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. So all those things are coming. And then for those of you who are driving truck, we know that there's a lot of you who are audio fans. Eventually,
We
this
got you
story is
covered.
going to be put into professional narration like any other audiobook would. But in the meantime, you're going to have Nick or me or Nick and me, or maybe Nicole, if it's a female perspective, reading these stories to you as well, so that you don't have to feel like left out and forgotten about. So we'll have an audio version where you can hear the authors read it. Nick used to be an actor. Nicole was an opera singer, and she's also an actress, and she made it on TV more than you did, right, Nick?
Way more. She's a star. She was on. What soap opera were you on?
General Hospital with some lines in Days of Our Lives as like a featured high school person, even though I was out of high school. So yeah,
She
it was fun.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And I was a theater major who didn't get on TV once, but still I can at least deliver a line decently. So
you were the most highly trained of all of us. I was just some ex-soldier looking for work, and I would pretty much do anything I could to get in front of a camera.
Yeah, well, I didn't get my degree, so don't strike it up too high. So anyway, we're going to do that as well, just so that we have all the bases covered. But yeah, this is what we have going on. You can subscribe as an insider anytime you want at galaxiesedge.us/shop. Go in there, you'll find the insider subscription pretty easily. It's also linked to the front page. We're going to have some incentives coming along. And if you've already subscribed this year for the first time, if you've already been in on it, we're going to take care of you. So if you're hearing, oh no, all these incentives to sign up and I got skunked. No, not the case. This year, people who do our annual subscription, we offer a monthly subscription and an annual subscription, which is a little bit less, but those who sign up for the annual subscription just pay for the full year in advance at a lower rate. We're going to send you, as they become available, a Strange Company patch for free. We're just going to toss it in the mail and send it out to you. That's not going to be available immediately any other way. Those are going to get sent out, and then we'll probably put it up in one of the storefronts later, but that's going to you. We're going to have a promotion where if you buy one of the Forgotten Ruin ammo cans, you'll get a free 1-year Galaxy's Edge subscription on top of that. And then as more titles, because we are taking some titles off of Kindle Unlimited, namely the Savage Wars and the Tyrus Rex series. Once those roll off of their exclusivity of Kindle Unlimited, we're going to make those available for sale in our storefront, and insiders who are current will get ebook copies of those. Anything that we put wide, we're going to give out again. So if you weren't a subscriber way back when Requiem for Medusa came out and you haven't gotten to it, once it goes wide, you're going to get it again. And if this works out well, it's going to go that way for the entire back catalog, including what a lot of people have asked for, but it isn't really easy to do on Amazon. And that's, box sets, e-box sets of all of season 1 and everything that's along with it, kind of in the order we released it. So you get all of season 1 and you get Imperator and you get those side books. We're going to be able to do a lot more things, but our goal is to do everything for the people who are willing to take the time to come straight to our store, use our point of sale system, send us Bitcoin if you want to, do whatever it is you'd like to do to support us directly. Like that's overwhelmingly who was there for us this weekend. Like the support that came in from our insiders and our dedicated readers and listeners. It was just an overwhelming reminder. And it's something that we say all the time. We're doing it for us and for you. Like you are the important part of what we're doing. So we kind of want to just be in this together. And
I'll be honest, like, we got slapped around this weekend, and then Monday we sat down and we're like, okay, what are we looking at here financially? We looked at the number that we make off KU and we're like, well, that's pretty good money. Like, do we really want to take a stand here against big tech? Do we really want them to slap us around and just determine whenever? I mean, they're slapping you around because they're basically saying behave or we'll close the door to the pizza parlor. And you're like, but yeah, I like the pizza these dudes make. I'm sorry that some mid-level SJW doesn't like you guys or whatever it is. And we said, yeah, but you know what? We're not taking shit from anybody, so we're doing it. And this is our plan to do it. You can either join or come along, or Galaxy. We're gonna write Galaxy's Edge in the gulag in prison. We don't care. So you'll be able to get it some way or another. But if you want to roll and you want to put your money where your mouth is, we're not just asking you to support, and you get a feel good thing out of support. We're going to make it so that you feel like you're taking advantage of us. And if you do, then maybe go buy a trial subscription for somebody that is a reader like you, who you want to hip to this and get them into there and into that. And also the Strange Company unit patch just came online. I don't know if Jason has a picture you can throw up. Maybe that's too much tech stuff while we're having this conversation, but that's pretty damn cool. And I believe the new subscribers are going to get the tech patch. I mean, the Strange Company patch, unit patch that you would wear on your right shoulder if you were in the left shoulder if you're in the military, right shoulder if you're in combat with it. It's pretty cool. I thought that was a pretty bitchin' patch.
Yeah, that's an awesome patch. Let me make sure, see if this is the right one. There we go. That's the Strange Company Get It On patch. Is it that one? PMC Limited?
No, that's the PMC like logo contractor T-shirt.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so not so we're gonna have that eventually.
But I have another one. The Reaper patch.
This is gonna be the right thing, unless it's like family photos of Jason.
Unless I'm just such an idiot that I can't do this. There we go.
Yeah,
the Reaper patch.
Is that not badass?
It's totally awesome. Aces and eights.
Does anybody know what aces and eights means? I mean, it's called the dead man's hand, and it's the hand that Wild Bill Hickok was holding when he took a break and went outside and got gunned down. Whenever you talk to an old first sergeant or NCO and the day is going particularly bad, they always tell you it's aces and eights. So in the Strange Company, every day is aces and eights. That's a unit patch you want to have. I would definitely, if that is a unit patch you want to have, plus you want to get Savage Wars, all the books, plus you want to get Tyrus Rec contracts and terminations, plus you want to stick it to the man, then let's subscribe right now and help us to reach our goal. Yeah, exactly. That's just it. And if you've already subscribed for a yearly subscription, if you've already done that, we will get this to you when your subscription renews. So don't worry about it. We don't even have these in stock yet. We still have to get them printed out, but we're going to send these on our dime to every single one of our insider subscribers who just knuckle down and say, yeah, I'm with you all year long. The guys who are doing that, we really appreciate it. Yeah, that's called in Strange Company, that's called the Grim Reaper Astronaut. There you go. Yeah, so there's that. We've got other stuff coming up this year. Insiders get 30% off our. Oh, and you will get Strange store. Company too, right? We're throwing that in, and we're also throwing in. I won't speak for Jason. He might throw in his books. We're going to throw in the Old Man in the Wasteland series, which is how I started.
Yeah.
So
Nick's first
that's
books.
a post like you're going to get, like I said, you're going to get so much stuff you feel guilty.
Right. Yeah, we're really trying to hit a lot of that stuff. So at any rate, that's what we're doing. That's what we have going on. We've got a lot of other cool things that are happening. Insiders get a 30% discount off of everything in the store. We're going to have some new signed posters in the shop here before long. We also are going to do some limited t-shirts every other month. And the first one of those is going to be a really cool, I'll show you the shot here that we have of the mock-up here, but it's the navy blue Doomsday Squad shirt with the skull logo, white, orange, and bright red. I know you guys will probably look even better. Like, this guy's not quite jacked, not as jacked as the guys who are doing the big lift, big die stuff, but here's the mock-up. But this is coming as well. Every other month, we're going to have a limited t-shirt that you order, and then we print it and we send it out. And that's just going to allow us to have more designs without having to use up more space in our warehouse, also known as my office. So we're looking forward to do those. There's going to be some Doomsday stuff. We're going to do some Strange Company stuff, some Forgotten Ruin stuff, some Wayward Galaxy stuff. We're really going to start expanding with that, and you'll get the opportunity to do that with a discount if you're an insider on top of it. Like anybody who's bought stuff from the store can tell you they've paid for their insider subscription over and over again with the savings, and then they get the free books too. So all that's coming up. Now you know where we are and what's going on. If you have some more questions and we can answer them, we will, like about what happened. We don't anticipate that Amazon's going to rush to take us down, but like, we've heard from enough people who have either been taken online and then put back up and just sort of flippantly told, we know some big authors and some big publishers who have had their account totally frozen and just been locked out as they frantically work with it. And you know, we're a fairly big indie new pub publisher as it is, but guys as big or bigger have had this problem. And is it a bot run amok? Is it somebody that wants to just press the buttons to kind of give you a warning? Is it just a reminder of, you know, who's the boss of the yard? We don't know. Like, all we can do is speculate about it. But what we know we have to do is push ourselves into this direction so that we are moved away from the centralization of that one spot. And if they decide to pull the rug, we're okay, because we've got our loyalist, most serious and sincere readers and listeners in one spot. And one other thing that we can add, Nick, we've started working on doing our own audiobooks like we do for Forgotten Ruin. And right now we're just giving those at a discount to insiders, but we're also talking about having another insider tier that people can opt into, which will give you all the audiobooks as well as all the ebooks. The only reason we haven't put it out yet is because we don't feel like we're delivering enough audiobooks fast enough to justify asking people to pay monthly for it. But that's something else that we have coming along as well. So that's the story. That's what happened. That's what we're doing about it.
There's one last benefit too,
Yeah,
and I don't know, this will just speak to a lot of people. But what we're all seeing is big tech's intrusion into your life, knowing everything that you're doing. You know, you mentioned, you know, sockets, and suddenly you're getting 20 ads for sockets and everything like that. And I think there's going to come a moment, especially with Amazon, where you're going to need to ask yourself, are you comfortable with your boss knowing what you're reading? Mm-hmm. And in the past, like, yeah, I didn't think I was reading anything bad, but now, you know, for better or worse, you kind of see what the culture is becoming, and you see, like, you know, I worked at a video game at a company one time, building a world for them that was going to be like Warcraft, and one of the producers was looking at my tweets and came in and said, "We need to fire this guy." And the boss was like, "Why?" He's like, "Well, he's not tweeting the right things." It's like, and that was a few years ago, but as we can tell, the world's getting crazy. Here's the cool thing about buying your books from us. They're anonymous. No one's getting this data. Yeah. No one knows what you're going to buy, because we don't keep those kind of records, and we don't, and I can tell, almost can verbatim tell you, I've never even asked Jason this question. We don't sell our data, do we?
No, no, not on
No.
your life. We don't
No.
sell your data. We don't put DRM on our stuff so that it's, when you buy it, it's yours forever. Like we don't do anything like
Yeah.
that. You know, we keep your data in a database for email. We tag your stuff so that if you bought, say you bought Violence of Action on audio, we tag that you bought it so that we can let you know when the next audiobook comes out. But that's the extent of our nefarious schemes. We specifically have left email providers who have shown a willingness to shut down people because they don't like what they're emailing. We'll migrate as many times as we have to make sure we're with a company that allows people to express their free speech.
You're even more
so
so than I am, and I think people know how hardcore I am, but not in every era. But you're more so hardcore on personal liberty and freedom. Would you like? That's why, as the CEO of this company, you've like made sure, like, nope, none of those shenanigans happen.
Yeah, I think you know, Nick, you've described yourself as a constitutional conservative many times. I think that I tend to, if you've got to put me in a box, I am a conservative leaning libertarian. You know, but I'm not willing to go full stop libertarian. But you know, the thing with libertarians is, like, you know, there's no true libertarian, right? Like, you know, you are always the true libertarian. Everybody else doesn't understand the do no harm principle, and they're all messing it up. So there's no true libertarian except me. But we try to run this company with that in mind, for sure.
Yeah, we're big on personal freedom, and so like, and I just like, I'd been thinking about that all weekend. I'm like, that's a really big selling point to people. Like, this is yours, your books, your body, you will own everything. And you don't have to worry about anyone ever finding out what you're buying from us. Not that we think anything is bad, but maybe that t-shirt's, you know, I don't know, maybe someone's going to get upset about a flaming skull. I don't know, they get upset about a lot of stuff. Well, you know, no one's going to know that you bought it. You're not going to be on a list or anything, but it is becoming more of an issue. And there's I don't know that that'll appeal to everybody, but it appeals to me right now. And it's why we're doing it at this company. And I know it's appealed to Jason, and I think it'll appeal to some of you. And we're trying to go now towards, we're not a cult, but it's a lifestyle company. And you're going to be very interested over the next year of some of the things that we have to offer you, that, you know, it's part of the Legion. It's, you know, it's a Legion way of life, whatever that is. But you can see it in the guys who work out and do stuff and stack plates. And you can see it in the people who are on the Discord talking about the stuff they're talking about. Just the ability to laugh at stuff. That's like one of the things. So, you know, that's where we're going. And we're kind of the opinion now, we're not bowing to the cancel mob, whatever. If you find something offensive, then this isn't for you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I think we say that, like, you've seen our track record. We say that while writing in a way that is not trying to offend for titillation, right? Like, you know, that's the other thing we do. Like, I think that Galaxy's Edge has appealed to people across a lot of different divides, right? Like, you know, we've got, shout out to our Bernie bros, because you're there. A lot of people can see the problems with centralization and political hyperpartisanship and things like that. We've got you from across the spectrum. We're just going to keep doing what we do. We're not going to ramp it up to give an echo chamber and only one perspective. What you've got is what you'll continue to get. Little screeds on liberty from Nick and I, just different things like that, but nothing new. Nothing
we
changing.
didn't get the main thing is we didn't get chilled. We just decided to be more free again.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So until we get the back end blockchain that we're trying to do, so that you can pay us in Bitcoin on the Lightning Network, or, you know, there's some of the other coins that are completely untraceable. Whatever it is, we'll take care of you. We're not going to sell your data. Nick owns half the company. I own the other half. And neither one of us is going to try to cash you out for a quick buck so that you can be marketed to by, you know, Disney for the next, for their bounty hunter show or whatever else it might be. But at any rate, yeah, that's what happened. Now, you know, you can reach out to us via email, go to our websites. There's a lot of ways you can get to us. We take time to talk to our readers and listeners, but that's about it. So feel free to reach out if you want to.
KTF.